Hey everybody, this is David at Barnyard Bees. I'm out here pulling Nucs for the store tomorrow. And just a little reminder, tomorrow, which is Saturday, July 27th, is one of our coffee bee chats. If any of you get a chance, come on out and see it. We sit around, chit-chat about bees and free coffee and donuts. We have a good time. Anyone that's ever come will tell you they've enjoyed it, and we just have a good time, and just it's a good chance for new beekeepers to come and chit-chat about bees. So what I'm doing, I'm pulling some Nucs for tomorrow, and a couple of things I wanted to show you. One thing is our beetle barn, we're a big believer in, and they do really good. Now, one thing that you do need to do is a routine maintenance on these. If you can see if I can get it in the sunlight good where we can see good. The entrances, the bees are bad about properly them shut. Some do it worse than others. So about every couple of weeks, go in, rebait it, and clean it out, and I'll show you what it looks like inside. Okay, I got that one pulled out, which is right here. You can see my bait right here in the middle. And you can see the hive beetles, and also in this one here. And we'll dump them out and see how many. Okay, there's the hive beetles in there. Quite a few of them. It's hive beetle season, and you just gotta keep up with them and keep them in check. Quite a few on that one too. So as long as you keep these routine maintenance, they will keep your hive rid of hive beetles. They do really good. But you can see on the inside here, look at the propolis right here. And you just got to get in there, and it's easy to do. I don't know if I can do this one-handed. You just simply scrape it out. And I'm doing this one-handed, and if I can do it one-handed, you can easily do it two-handed. And you just scrape it out, and they're really tough, so you can beat on them pretty good. And they're durable. But anyway, another thing I wanted to talk about is I always compare bee season, and some people say, well, I don't like football. Well, it's just an analogy. I'm just trying to compare how this goes with beekeeping. Beekeeping early in the year, March and April, is so easy. Everything goes right. You got by April, you got tons of drones, no hive beetles, no wax moths, no yellow jackets, no robbing, tons of, like I say, tons of drones to get your queens mated. So everything's in your advantage. You can do walk-away splits, which if you don't know what a walk-away split is, where you actually just leave a hive queenless, and you just drop a frame of young eggs. And not to get into that too deep, but you just drop a frame of eggs into the box and walk away, and they'll make their own queen. They'll make queen cells, and the virgin queen will hatch. She will fly out, mate, come back. If you've done 10 of those in prime time, it's not very uncommon at all to get 7 or 8 of those back successfully at that time of year. Now, as the season goes on, let's say, for example, your favorite football team, they open up the season with a Division II team, and they all do this. To build up their confidence, they play a team like that, and they come in and they beat the heck out of them. But each game thereafter gets harder and harder and harder. Where the last game you're playing Clemson or Alabama or somebody like that. So, same way with bee season, it's identical. As it goes on, it gets harder and harder and harder, because now we're in July, we're late July, almost August. Hive beetles are at prime, wax moths are at prime, yellow jackets are getting ready to emerge in abundance. We're in dearth, which means bees are trying to kill each other for food. The drone population will soon be dropping, and which means it gets harder and harder to make queens. It's not so hard right now because of lack of drones, but because there's so many predators, your dragonflies, purple martins, mockingbirds, just about everything imaginable that's out there will get your queens as they fly on their mating flight and come back. So it just gets harder and harder. So if you you got to stay on top of your game. Don't get relaxed. If you start off and you say, oh, this is easy, they built this hive up no problem, and then come August you look in and you're infested with hive beetles, or you lost a queen and you can't get one mated by a walk-away split, which is not advisable this time of year. If you need queens, get your queens, order your queens, get you a mated queen. Don't rely on a walk-away split this time of year. It's a gamble anyway, but not near the gamble. It's so easy in April, you can do that and get away with it. But later in the year, you're better off to go ahead and buy you a queen. Don't gamble with that. You're 30 days out. If you do a walk-away split, you're exactly, it's really close, because I time it to the T. It's almost 30 days before that, before they make the queen cells. The queen hatches, it flies out, it comes back, and it starts laying a decent pattern. It's 30 days. And so that puts you later in the year, and it puts you out a whole month of that queen producing anything. So remember that. Keep those hive beetle traps, keep them cleaned out, keep them baited up. Get in there. This right here is that box that had all those hive beetles in it, but you won't hardly see any in there because they've all been trapped out. The trap done its job. It done very, very good. No problem. Some of the traps, and also keep the traps flat. Do not let them have any kind of where they can get underneath them. In other words, if you set them on a piece of wax or a piece of debris, a piece of pollen, it'll give them just enough where those hive beetles, instead of going in them, they'll go under them and they'll hide. And I've done that many times, done it a little while ago. It happens to me. You get in a hurry, you slide the trap in through the entrance, not knowing where it goes, and lands on a piece of wax. It's up about a 1/16 of an inch. And a week later, you go in there and look, and your hive beetle trap's empty. But when you picked it up, they just scattered by the hundreds. So keep them flat, and preferably in the back here towards the back, because the bees will corral them towards the back in the corners. So keep them not against the corners, but out just a little bit away, about a 1/2 inch in all directions away, and that's where they do best for us. Take your time. Don't just slide them in the entrance. I've done that, be in a hurry, and sometimes it works, and sometimes it ends up on a piece of wax, and it actually works against you because you gave them a place to hide now. So just wanted to kind of touch on that a little bit about the dearth, and which I talked about the dearth before. Just a little reminder, those of you who don't know what it is, it stands for the lack of, and that don't mean just beekeeping. Anything the lack of, anything you're depleted of, and in this case in beekeeping, it's pollen and nectar. Not so much pollen, they're still bringing in pollen, but nectar is the big dearth. And so things start to go wrong, and so just stay prepared. If you got to start feeding pollen to your bees. Another thing I want to touch on too, I'm getting ready to open feed, and I just had set my buckets out, and I need to get them loaded up. I got them down there ready to go. I'm gonna get some sugar water mixed and get them in there, and then after they're mixed and the bees start coming to them, then I'll do a video and show you how they do. They're right at a football field away. 300 feet is ideal. We do open feeding during the dearth when robbing's so bad that you can't hardly feel through the hive top feeder, because the bees will smell it out, and it doesn't matter if you fill it at night. Some people say, well, fill at night. It doesn't matter. Those bees smell that sugar water. You can't fool those bees that there's no sugar water in that hive top feeder from other hives. I've done this so much and so long, I know they'll smell it out, and if the hive is weak, which in our case, we run a lot of weak hives. That's how it goes. We run. This is a nuke yard. You sell a colony, you start over again with a frame of bees, and so it's vulnerable. So you got to stay on your toes with it and watch things close. Keep your entrance reducer small, and that's why at that time I open feed and keep the sugar down there away from the bees, and they go that direction, and it doesn't cause a robin problem as long as you're at least 200 feet minimum, but preferably 300 feet or more away is you're better off. Your pollen, it doesn't matter. You can put your pollen right in the middle of the yard. It doesn't cause any kind of feeding frenzy. So touch on that a little bit. I think this is very important because this is a time of year people start losing their bees. It's not just the winter. If you have any weak colonies or colonies that lost their queen, you're very vulnerable. So if you have queens, if you have hives that are queenless, get them a queen and get it fast. Don't wait. There's a lot of people now that sell queens. Of course, we have queens. We'll have queens all the way up through September. So if you need queens or beetle barns, anything like that, barnyardbees.com, we got everything you need. But if you don't get them from us, that's fine. Get them somewhere. That's my point that I'm trying to get out. I'm not trying to make a sales pitch. If you got a local place you got queens, get them. Or if you can get your beetle barn somewhere, get them. I'm just saying, just do what you need to do to keep your bees healthy. And we need to get everybody through this dearth and get them prepared coming up to fall. I'm going to do another video here shortly about mite treatments and kind of touch on that a little bit more. I try to do that every year, just a little bit to kind of remind people how to treat. And that's about it. I just kind of wanted to touch on that and, you know, let everybody know that beekeeping doesn't stay easy like you think it does when you start to begin the year. So be prepared, be ready. If you need anything, beekeeping supplies, and don't forget about our bee chat tomorrow, July 27th, 2019, at our store, 215B Market Street. I'll put the address. And don't forget, any beekeeping supply, barnyardbees.com. Don't forget, click on the little bell, like and subscribe. Thanks for watching. Barnyard Bees.